There's this crisis in this world that I'd like to introduce to you in this video. This crisis in the surroundings, it doesn't seem that bad. But when you go deeper into it, when you realize what's happening, it is that bad. And I'm not telling you that it's impossible for this crisis to be fixed. It is 100% possible. It can be done through cooperation, through smart usage, through listening to this video and many more videos about this topic. This crisis, it may seem stupid to 15-year-olds like me, but I think just a few examples of these in play were enough to tell me that I wasn't weirded out by this. I need to take action upon this. Let me tell you about the testosterone crisis that's in this world. Now, to get scientific, testosterone is the main sex hormone in our male body. I mean, it controls our sex drive or libido. It controls our semen, like if it's healthy or not, depending on your levels, by the way. It controls your enjoyment for work. It controls how, like the primal stuff. It controls how fucking aggressive you are, some stuff like that. But mainly, it's just the most important things of testosterone in the modern world is sex drive, which is number one. Sex drive and libido and sperm count. That's like the most important right now. Aggression, sure, but if you're a mindful man, you'll be able to put that on the side. It doesn't really matter. Now, how is this a crisis, you may ask? In recent times, our testosterone levels are dropping each year in men at a rate of 2.6% a year. 2.6% a year. That is huge. That is so big. That is such a big margin every single year that there is to cover. I mean, take this into consideration. 100 years ago, the levels that were considered low back then are now considered normal or even high. Imagine, and it's just gonna get worse with the more usages of the stuff that's bad. Why do you think this is happening? Why only during the last 100 years? Why couldn't this have happened before? Think about it. What has changed so much in the last 100 years to transform our hormones completely, or levels of our hormones completely? It is one thing only. Well, no, it's actually one major thing and two side things that I'd like to tell you about in this video. It's obviously, when we take into consideration, we realize it's about everything being introduced to us, like high fructose corn syrup, like McDonald's, like Hardee's, like Carl's Jr., same thing. Like, it's fucking tight, but like all those fast food restaurants that are not where I live, fuck, brother. Anyways, that's good for me. That are not where I live, and they contain so much processing. It ruins your levels. There's so much plastic too that ruins your levels. I'll get into plastics in a minute. That is your major crisis. You need to understand it is because of everything that has come together in the last 100 years. Excessive use of plastic containers, excessive eating of junk food, and McDonald's and fucking Burger King if you eat that shit, and all that shit. Give me a second. I need to stretch out. Alright. Now, we don't think about it clearly. And this pure ignorance is going to get us killed. You'll be thinking, how the fuck is that gonna happen? Extinction. Put your brain to it, dumbass. If you can't use, if you can't use your sperm because it's deformed, it's not motile enough, if that's the right term, I don't know. If it doesn't have motility, there we go. And if it can't swim in the right direction, how are you gonna have kids? How are you gonna even survive? How are you gonna pass on your bloodline? You can't. It's as simple as that. And that's what low testosterone causes: infertility. It's gonna lead to the extinction of us. Not only will this lead to the extinction of us, but some of us may even get so pissed off at ourselves, because one of our main purposes in human life as a man is to become a good father, but we can't do that. And sperm donors may be an option, but imagine how insecure you would feel about sperm donors. Just imagine it. I don't think you would have to imagine it. There's just insecurity upon insecurity. I mean, just imagine you have your girlfriend. She's beautiful and everything. She's great. She does delayed gratification. She doesn't do much instant gratification. She's just like you. She wants to make more progress toward delayed gratification, but you cannot have kids. That's what the crisis is. Right? Your family loves her, you love her, and you try. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7. No. Again, I've covered sperm donors, insecurities. And this is something you'll have to realize, because obviously we're too young right now to understand and actually experience how badly insecure we would be. It may, for some people, it may not even be that much, but for most of us, because we're so damn insecure, it's gonna be bad. We're not gonna like it in the slightest. Why would you want plastics? Why wouldn't you sacrifice plastics and high fructose corn syrup for your betterment, for your future generations? That's something that's something we all fail to understand. Because we don't understand what we're doing. I'll explain the science behind it. So, in plastics, there is a chemical known as bisphenol A. Now, bisphenol A is an endocrine disruptor. Endocrine is basically our endocrine system is basically our hormonal system and how they travel, because they're chemical and all that, right? So, BPA is an endocrine disruptor. And this endocrine disruptor is what destroys our testosterone. I'll tell you a study I remember. So there was a study conducted by the University of Missouri, and they found that exposure to BPA, that's commonly found in plastics, by the way, if you are that stupid. I mean, I think I've mentioned that. BPA is found in plastics, right? So that what is the thing that's commonly found in plastics, they realized that over exposure to that in fish, they studied that, right? What did they observe, you think? Study found that male fish had reduced sperm count and decreased fertility, while the women, in fact, were higher in eggs. They had more eggs and they had increased their fertility. So you can put two and two together. Women need estrogen, we need testosterone. So BPA is estrogenic. That means it destroys testosterone and promotes estrogen, creation of estrogen. So this suggests that BPA, that is clearly in endocrine disruptor. There's no way you can't see that, right? I mean, how? How do you not understand that? There's no way you can clear that. And you want to know the worst part? That these infertile batches, when they were compared to a control group, when they were compared to a control group with normal water, there the offspring of the fertile one in the BPA exposed basket, the offspring were 50% infertile. 50% of the offspring in the BPA exposed were infertile. And of those offspring, 75% of them were infertile. But compared to the control group was normal. They were fine. Nothing much. Plastics. This life of plastics is what we need to give up. There's so much. There's literally fucking plastic here and fucking it's there. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. It's on my it's lamp. It's my pen right here. My pilot pen. My favorite fucking pen. My everything. There is so much plastic. It's hard to avoid. Trust me, it's very hard to avoid. Sometimes you will have to take the L. Like I am with this pen. Like I am with those headphones. Like I am with my mouse. You will have to take the L. But when you can take the W of not using plastics, take it. Even if it's hard. Even if it is hard. Understand that. Take it. Now, coming back to the study, right? We said that 75% of the offspring of the infertile group, 75%, right? Like, and it's continued until they were all infertile. Humans or teens in this generation, 20% of us are infertile. And if you look and you try and relate the studies, it's common sense that's about to happen to us. Not common sense. Just use a little logic and you'll realize that this is going to happen to us. And how do we really prevent this? I mean, the prevention comes on, like, I don't understand. I'm sorry, okay, but I don't understand that if we already know plastics are bad for the environment, why didn't we just implement that? Fuck. Alright, sorry, I was in thought. Anyways, coming back to the fish. Now, some of you might say that it's only for fish or it was genetics. Man, shut the fuck up, bro. You're the one who's eating 7 McDonald's a day, not doing anything about yourself. What the fuck are you doing with your life? I've devoted 3, 4, 6. I've artistically done, like, I've reviewed studies to see the conclusion. I've artistically searched, I've watched so many informational videos about this where I'm gaining this knowledge and I'm using this because it is a crisis and I don't want this to happen with me. Same way, you do not want this to happen to you. BPA or bisphenol A is in fucking everything we use. I just said it's everywhere, right? There was a study conducted which said we piss out a certain amount of concentrated BPA. That's how much we use plastics. And also no, BPA free again is a lie. It's a fucking cope. Because even if there is no BPA in something, there will be other chemicals similar, identically, chemically identical to BPA that still fuck up your endocrine systems. Still terrible. So, actionable step. Something you can do right now. Throw out most of your plastics. For the white kids, right? Throw out most of your plastics. Genuinely. Throw them out. Like a plastic water bottle, plastic toothpaste, plastic what else? Plastic toothpaste container, by the way. If you're using plastic toothpaste, go fuck yourself. Polyester clothes, they have BPA in it because it's plastic. Let's see. I'm gonna open my bathroom. Check anything. Fucking plastic moisturizers. Get rid of them. Finish them. Get them fucking over with. Right. And some of you brown kids. Maybe a little shitted on right now because you use plastic containers, right? All of you do. Some of us do excessively, like my household. So just whenever you heat your food to eat, just heat it in a glass container. That's all I can advise for brown kids here. Throwing out your clothes, just act like they're too short and just throw them out. If your parents make you try them, I'm sorry. I don't know what I can do there. There will be some cases where you will have to take the L. I said that. Just minimize the amount you take the L. Now, let's get into point number two. We all love a great meal, a fucking filled with McDonald's, filled with Coke, filled with shitty processed French fries that are not organically made, all of that. Now, these all reduce testosterone. If you didn't know, you can just Google them. There are 5 foods in general I'd like to talk about. Number 1, soy. Avoid soy. It is literally proven to be estrogenic as fuck. Avoid it. It's as terrible as plastic for you. And if you like soy, bro, anyways, it's a fucking ugly ass food. It tastes like shit. No need to eat like soya chunks. They're processed again. Don't eat them. They're terrible for your testosterone and terrible for your health in general. Okay, sure, they have protein, but protein doesn't mean healthy, man. It just means you're fucking stupid. Number 2, I just covered this processed food. High fructose corn syrup. Yeah. And McDonald's, shit like McDonald's, fucking Burger King, fucking Popeyes. If that's not here, but anyways, I've eaten Popeyes very long time ago. Fuck. So yeah, ignore processed food. Again, terrible for your testosterone. Flaxseed, again, it's like soy. It is estrogenic, highly estrogenic. Avoid it. I don't like it enough to give a fuck about them, but if you do, avoid, please. A lot of refined carbohydrates like white bread, white rice, it's very common in brown people diet. Reduce the amount of rice and increase the amount of curry you get, so that you feel more full, and again you get more nutrients because and you like take more of the curry and all that. Also, protein powders, just take less. No, don't take less, just don't eat fucking protein powders. They have aspartame and all that bullshit. Not aspartame, like, artificial sweeteners like asulfame potassium, sucralose, and even stevia. Stevia is okay. If you want a stevia protein powder, go for it, but make sure it doesn't have soy lecithin or sunflower lecithin. That is also estrogenic, but no one really eats sunflower, so I didn't talk about it. Just eat less processed food and eat a healthy diet of whole foods. Like, actionable step: whenever you eat Foods, look at the ingredient list. It should be one ingredient. That's it. Like yogurt. Yogurt would have what? Water and milk. That's it. So it should have water and milk. And obviously it's gonna have the shit that's used to turn into yogurt. But again, that's organic. If you are super conscious, you can make your yogurt at home. Say for example, tomatoes or potatoes. Actually, potatoes are good food. Keep you highly satiated. Eat potatoes. Potatoes are just potatoes. There should be other fucking shit in it, like emulsifiers or preservatives. It's just fuck off. And for fats, use ghee or butter. Don't use oil. Oil is also terrible for your testosterone. I think full fat butter or ghee. I use ghee a lot because that's the only like full fat. I'm 100% sure it's full fat. Butter, I'm not too sure about. So I use it in a decent proportion. But yeah, fats, butter, and ghee. And then we move on to the third point. Phones. This is going to be very quick, just 2 minutes, 1 minute maybe. Whenever you have your phones, this is just straight to the actionable step because, okay, I'll explain it to you. Radiation, when you get radiation from a phone, it actually kills your sperm count and it deforms it. I don't need to explain more, but and it should be common sense. So whenever you have your Wi-Fi on, and all that, just keep it on, like whenever you're not using your phone or your laptop, keep it on airplane mode or something like that. I'm recording this video on airplane mode, by the way. Yeah, and then my laptop is open because I need it right now, and I'm like using obviously for the script because I keep on fucking looking down. You've already seen it, right? Oh fuck. Yeah, and you've seen that, right? So testosterone, radiation fucks up testosterone. So whenever you're not using a device, turn on airplane mode or turn off the Wi-Fi because the radiation that comes from the Wi-Fi kills your testosterone. Also, never keep your phone in your pockets, and neither receipts. I forgot to mention this, but receipts have BPA in them too. Fuck receipts, throw them out. Don't even touch them. Just ask the guy to keep them. All right, and then phone, don't keep it in your pocket. Hold it like, where's my phone? Oh, I'm recording this on my phone. I'm fucking retarded. Anyways, just hold it like in your hand, like this. Maybe even like this if you're scared they'll drop it. I just hold it like this and then I keep it like this, and then if I feel like I'll drop it, I just adjust it properly. Phone covers, don't use plastic ones. If you can find something without plastic, use it. I just keep my phone without the cover most of the time. That's all I have for this video. My name is Tejas. I'll see you in the next video.